been pretty exciting around here. We've had a lot of weather. California is suffering from some pretty good winds, and this one took up my power. Thankfully, I've got this big old generator here. It's a rebuild of an old generator that was actually on a train refrigerator car. This company has rebuilt these things and put them on trailers, or you can sell them, you can buy them as individual units. But this generator portion and the engine, it's an old Detroit engine. It's actually from the 60s. It's a real durable old standby, and I'm so thankful to have it. Yeah, we've got our house, so we have to switch off the power from PG&E. I do enjoy going out for little hikes in the weather. I like experiencing the storm. So I took a walk up my driveway during one of the more extreme portions of the storm. Not the most extreme portion. It was scary out there during the really, really big winds, but you can see everywhere stuff is coming down. We did lose one tree that fell across my driveway. I was able to clear enough of it so I can get my cars through, but the rest of it is still sitting up on the hillside there. You know, John Muir wrote about one of his adventures, and if you ever get a chance to read the story of where he chose to spend the night up in a tree in a big storm in Yosemite, it's a pretty good story, but I can understand why he would want to do such a thing, why he would want to go out and experience the forces of nature and really be a part of the storm. You know, most of us, we hunker down and sit by the fire in our house and stay warm. I did have one medium-sized oak snap off on the trunk and it crossed my driveway, so I did have to get out there and clear it so we can get our vehicles through. But I know there were other big trees that went down in the woods. I could hear big cracks and big failures, and well, I tell you, the power of the storm is just amazing. And if you have a chance to get out and be part of it, I say, fear not. Go out there and be a part of nature. Be a part of the storm. Feel it. Feel the energy that the storm brings to us. And the next morning, I did spend several hours with the blower clearing off the driveway. Now, this is the time of the year when many trees are dormant, that I try to ask you guys to really look close and pay attention. This is an ash tree. It's a Fraxinus UDI. They get quite large, and it's got a very nice shape to it. But the shape is because somebody got up there, presumably with a bucket truck, and just tipped it back all the way around. Lots and lots and lots of cuts. That was a pretty good sized job. They probably paid a pretty penny for that. Now, what's right with that and what's wrong with that? Well, what's right with it is if the tree is in a confined area and you don't have any space and you have to keep it small, then sometimes you're stuck doing this. But what's wrong with this is if you look at where all these cuts are made, it's a fairly recent pruning because there's only about 6 or 8 inches of new growth. But in a couple of years' time, each of those multiples on the terminal buds are going to be like little explosions of growth, which in turn will exacerbate the amount of end weight on a tree like this. So you can contain it temporarily, you can keep up on it continually, but if they forget about it and leave it go for 4 or 5 years, this thing's going to be a mess. Looks nice now though. So in your travels, especially when things are dormant, I want you to slow down and take a look at what's happened to certain trees in the past. and mark those trees in your memory. And when you drive by them in the future, pay close attention to what's going to happen and see what the future growth reveals. That's really the only way that you're going to learn in this business, is paying attention. You can listen, you can read books, you can watch videos, but if you don't pay attention yourself, it's not going to sink in.